All right, it's asking me to upgrade. Hi, everyone. I'm Yvonne Dillette of Gordon and Yvonne Shit Show. Dr. Rita Louise is standing by, just waiting for Gordon. I have a feeling he's trying to figure it out. This is our first live on Facebook and YouTube. Very exciting. Um, it's not going to be perfect. I'm not upgrading now. Okay. Let's see. Gordon said he would be on time. All right. You know what? I'm going to start. I'm going to play the theme song written by my friend Larry. Bianco. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, that's not it. Okay. All right. Wrong one. Uh oh. Uh oh. I knew this was going to be challenging. It's great. Recently added. Okay, let's see. What else? Let's do that one. Audio only. Okay. Wow, I have more than one. Unknown artist. Nope. Nope. Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. All right. All right. Oh my God. Let's see. It's this one. It's got to be that one. It's got to be that one. All right. All right. Gordon and Yvonne Shit Show. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. That's the theme song. And I don't see Gordon. This is our first. We usually do live on Instagram or Zoom, and then I edit and put it on the Unknown Zone talk show. But I was luckily advised by our guest, Dr. Rita Louise, how to do, what is this called? Something streaming. So I don't see Gordon. So I'm going to bring on Rita. Can I do that? Hi, Rita. Can you hear me? Can you
I
speak?
hear you. I can't see you because I have the whole screen to
I
myself.
know. How do we do this? Oh my God. Do you know how to do
So I use StreamYard, not Restream, but there should be a little button that shows like two little squares in it, which would be for two
Oh,
people.
I see. I did it. I got it. Shift. Let's go. Do it. Shift. Do I do shift? Okay. Oh, thank you everyone for watching. Okay, I don't know why it's not doing that. That's interesting. Oh, there it is. Would that do it? Would thumbnails. Shift. Oh, I got shift two. Shift two. Oh my God. It's not. I'm so sad right now. Okay, why won't it let me do it? That's so weird. Disposable camera, compact, classic. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I got this far. Let's see. How does that edit? No, I don't want to remove you or edit. Um, come on, man. Come on. This is silly. This is silly. Okay, I'm not gonna end it. Oh wow. All right. Let's see. Should I just? We could just go back and forth. Welcome. Hi. I just want to introduce you, Dr. Rita Louise. Thank you so much for being here on our first Facebook YouTube Live, where Yvonne is technically challenged. Um, I'll just go back to me and I'll say, Dr. Rita Louise is a medical intuitive. You're also an author. You have a live on YouTube every Thursday night, which is, I have heard of you a while ago, but I went onto your live recently and you were very accurate. I asked a couple questions. And you're a naturopath, a medical intuitive, and you wrote a book which I started reading, which I can absolutely identify with, called The Dysfunctional Relationship Between Empath and Narcissist.
Hmm.
And I want to say welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. So Gordon, I think, is trying to message in.
Is he? You see that?
It says, "How do I get on? Can I be on the show?" GESK66.
Gordon, I sent you an email with the link. Okay. Let's see. All right, this is like a practice show in a way. Well, I just want to say I want to welcome you while he's trying to figure it out. Let's see. I so want to get both of us on the same. It says shift three. So I thought this was StreamYard. It's not.
No, this is Restream.
Oh, oops. All right, so I do that and that. You're very kind to put up with my.
It's been that kind of a day.
It has.
And I have a date right after this, so the world
Yeah.
is good.
All right, right on. Tell us about how'd you meet this person?
On a dating site. So I haven't actually met him. So this is going to be meet him
The
for the
first.
first time. So,
Wow.
but
What
it's gonna
dating
be
site?
good. It's going to be good.
Because I'm on one as well. I'm on Spiritual Singles.
Okay. I mean, so I'm on Plenty of Fish, but I'm also on Match.com, which at one point, like years ago, Match was good, but now it was really scary. How's that?
I
Because it was,
I
and I'm
believe
just going to
you.
say
I
this
believe
out
you.
loud because you're a comedian and I can say this stuff out loud.
Oh,
It
please
was a
do.
bunch of old, scary looking dudes that was like, no, 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 oh, way no. Um,
What
yeah,
is it? I want to ask you, what is it? Because I'm of a certain age and I think I look fantastic. I take good care of myself. And why is it a lot of dudes around? I don't know if we're similar age. I have a feeling we are. Why don't a lot of dudes like our age take care of themselves? What's up with that?
I have no idea. But see, I live in East Texas, and so they think that it's sexy, to have like these whiskers that are everywhere and they're not smiling. And it's like, I don't even have words to put there. Just, ew. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, and
I
I
don't
tend
know that they think they're going to like get some cat. I mean, they obviously are not going to get me, which I am kind of a cat, but
well, I'll
you
tell you my theory. My theory is that men think they look 10 times better than they do. Most men, not all, but a lot of straight men. And women, we never feel like we look good enough. And
know,
that's one of the main problems. I'm still trying to figure out how to get us both on, just so you know, while
yeah.
it
Well, I mean,
link.
the part that's interesting is that on Plenty of Fish, for example, there are some very attractive men that live in Dallas, that live in San Antonio, that live in Houston, which are all several hours away. But when you talk about like my little circle area, um, it's scary.
Yeah,
So I had
totally.
signed up and I'm like, I think I'm just going to cry because if this is what I have to pick from, I will be single the rest of my life.
Well, that's why I have to, because I'm in AA for 33 plus years, and that's why I have to go back to, I have to look at it spiritually. Um, because how I look at it is, I've done a lot of work on myself, and you put yourself out there. That's all you can do,
Hmm.
right? And I have to believe that there's some, as an intuitive, I would imagine you feel the same way, that there is another, something is in charge, whether it's God, higher power, spirit guides, what have you, you know. And I think I had to go through a phase where I had to say no a lot. I had to learn how to say no because I don't know what sign you are, but I'm a Pisces and I have a hard time. I had a hard time saying no.
I've just been in a lot of toxic relationships and
Well,
I'm not
yeah,
doing it
that too.
again. So I have like really big filters now, which they're just going to have to put up with because I really don't care. How's that?
Well, let me ask you this. I have a question. Do you think there are, because I always have to go back to the higher power, but do you think there are any men that are healed enough for, let's say, because you've done a lot of work, obviously, you wrote the book, and I have my version of, dysfunctional relationships and parental issues. Um, do you think there are? See, that's why I have to think that a higher power is gonna. Oh, here we are. Just wherever I'm going to meet the person. I had one intuitive tell me that it's not going to be through the dating sites, but I put myself out there anyway. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So don't you think there's a little bit of that as well?
Um, ooh, it worked! It
It's
worked!
oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so excited right now. While we're doing this, I'm trying to resend Gordon the link, but this is amazing. I don't
Okay.
I don't know what
I'm gonna
happened.
like scooch over so I'm more center screen.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
So, and actually, the guy that I'm meeting, okay, in addition to looking like Bon Jovi
Uh-huh.
and only living about a half hour away, we have had several weeks of these very deep spiritual conversations. He's a recovering alcoholic,
Nice.
biker dude, really working on himself. And I'm like, I would rather have somebody that recognizes they have issues and are working on their issues than
Of
have
course.
somebody that, thinks they're God's gift to this world.
Oh, definitely. Well, that's exactly what you want because then number one, you have something in common. Number two, you can communicate. No, listen, you get to a certain age, and I totally like now I know what my issues are.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like before when I was in my 30s, I met a guy, thought we were going to get married, whatever, and I was, let's say, 5 years sober, and I could honestly say that, in a way, thank God it didn't work out because everything came up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the abandonment issues, his crazy shit. It was so. I guess it was two very unhealed people, that weren't
Mm-hmm.
ready. Oh my God! Guess who just joined us?
Gordon?
Gordon. Let's see. Now that would be a three-way, right?
Yeah.
Gordon, I'm going to try to get you
Ooh,
on
we're gonna have a three-way.
three-way also before your date, so you'll be all relaxed. So he's trying to play music. Hey, Gordon. What's up? Welcome, Gordon.
Should I like rock out? Oh, they can't see me anyway, so it
Okay,
don't
let's
matter.
see. I'm going to go back to us. Oh, damn.
Hey,
Oh,
Happy
wait.
New Year.
Oh, I think I know what I need to do. Did I do it? No. Wait, I'm trying to. Okay, we'll just something. Is that what it is? Gordon, let's say hi to Gordon before we continue. Hi, Gordon. What's up?
Hi. Can you see me?
Yes. Welcome. You all right?
Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Do I look handsome?
Your eyes are bugging out, man. I just want let me
Uh,
catch him up. Let me just
there's a
catch you
little
up.
bit of delay going. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's the
Okay,
bummer.
I'm trying to get all three of us.
It's just me now, isn't it?
Yeah, I had me and Rita, which was so cool. All right, this is my first.
It's you.
It's you. It's me. It's Gordon. Come on, man. So you were. This is. I'm grateful that we finally got on Facebook and YouTube, but I'm embarrassed as well.
StreamYard, I'm telling
Holy
you,
crap.
Okay,
way,
StreamYard.
way
I
easy.
and I thought I did StreamYard. That's the bummer. So let's just say so we'll continue. So Rita is going on a date tonight, Gordon, and we were discussing, men. Where we were talking about how Gordon and I were talking about this last week. Do you remember, Gordon? We were talking about how I wanted my therapy money back. I wanted my therapy money back because I feel like I did so much work on myself because I wanted to be, you know, grown up and I didn't want to like be needy and have all my issues vomited all over them. And meanwhile, I can't find anyone that's even close to doing any like a little bit of the work, a little bit. You know what I'm saying, Rita? I'm still trying, by the way.
Well, it seems like, I get rid of a guy, I write a book, so I'm finishing up, I mean, literally finishing up a book that I started when I broke up with the last idiot. And, and I have to write like the last chapter kind of to wrap it all up. And I know I'm going to close the book with, so I don't know if there's going to be another book, but if I have another crappy relationship, I'm sure there will be, because I'm sure there's going to be some new lesson that I'm going to learn that I'm going to figure out and then share with you.
Absolutely. All right. Did I do it? I feel like I almost got it going. So what would the next book? What's the book you're currently working on about the last relationship?
So I want to say the working title, although I haven't really come up with anything else. And my sister like channeled this, like, you know, how you just say something, but you know that it's totally right. And what she said was, it's all about me, you know, with the subtitle, Transcending the Dysfunctional Dance of the Empath and Narcissist. And the book is really about stopping and turning off your autopilot and going inside and becoming aware of what's happening, you know, and
Right.
understanding, you know, if you're having issues with emotional regulation, you know, like, oh, I'm emotionally dysregulated. I mean, because people they don't think to think about it. They don't think to look at it. They don't think to pay any attention to it. And we run around on autopilot and then we wonder why things don't work out.
Right, that's a lot of people. And, like Gordon and I are both in, I call him my sober brother from another mother. By the way, I'll introduce Gordon C. Ramsey. I apologize. I'm still trying to figure this out, but we're getting there. We were only Instagram Live before. So we're getting there. It's a process. But Gordon and I were talking. He's in a long-term relationship and he's done some work on himself. Gordon, do you want to talk about any of the work you've done to give us straight, our single women hope?
Don't do it.
Oh God. I mean, I'm probably a little bit behind the eight ball on that stuff. I I just rely on my lack of bad qualities
Great.
as opposed to enhancing
Yeah.
whatever good ones. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. I mean, this is a tough time right now.
Yeah.
Like woke up at 4 a.m, and I was just. That's a bad time for anyone to wake up, but
Not if you have cats.
it's like all the bad boxes were checked. It's just it's like
So would
waking
you
up
s-
at the bottom of a pit of laundry.
Right. So this is an interesting question I have for all of us is because I'm one of those people that could not get away with anything. I just want to say if Seth is watching, I put my lashes on.
Oh
Just
yeah,
want
look at that. Let me turn the
yeah.
brightness up. There you go.
Okay, because I was testing. I was doing a test the other day and I didn't have lashes on, and there was a comment from my poker friend. So, and also you can have this set. Anyway,
Whoa!
whoa, too soon? Too soon?
Oh!
Too soon. So anyway, so I was saying I don't know if this is my astrology or whatever you want to call it, but once I got sober, I really had no choice but to work. I ran to therapy. I was told I had to go to Al-Anon, all this stuff. And the work has gone on. And the only reason I haven't stopped working on myself because I have the emotional pain and mental craziness that goes on in my head if I don't do the next right thing, spiritually, therapeutically, emotionally, whatever, is unbearable.
You
And
go
I
off
almost,
road right away.
yeah, thank you, off road. And Gordon, I almost feel like you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you're kind of hitting some sort of bottom where your insides, your spiritual self wants to level up, because seems to be like an ongoing thing with you.
Well, it is, and the thing is, I'm always up against the same wall, which is that that like the demons will always be like, jump back in the speedboat, and I know where the speedboat goes, and I it's not any place I want to be, so I'm not going to do that. But I just don't, I remember hearing guys in the rooms talk about, they didn't get sober to be miserable, and
Right.
apparently I did, because I mean, I guess it's just where I'm comfortable or something, but.
Hmm.
I haven't been drunk since 1996, and honestly, I just thank you.
That's something. It counts.
And I don't know if it's a point of pride or something, but I'm still fucked in the head. But I mean, everybody is, I suppose. It just I don't really have a very good process in place of dealing with that. It's like I'm always swimming to shore, and it gets farther away every day.
Yeah.
Or I'm always an emergency. Like I raised my hand. I was down to like 1 minute in the meeting, and there was a girl next to me, and we both raised our hand at the same time. And I said, "Oh no, please, you first." And it was her first meeting, and thank God that he didn't, pick me, because I would have been like, "I've been in the room 26 years. I'm fucking miserable. I want to blow my goddamn it." And so I was like, "Oh, thank God it was her who spoke instead of me closing out the meeting."
Well, that's very nice. And let's just note what has just transpired.
Oh, hi. We're all together now.
It only took 20 minutes.
Yeah, now.
Oh yeah.
Gordon, meet Rita. Rita, Gordon.
Hi, good to see you.
Hi. Well, and if I may elaborate on or continue with what you're saying, that was a very nice thing and to do. And there was a similar thing that happened in a meeting yesterday. But there's a term in AA. I'm sure Gordon's familiar with this. Is alcoholics like to sit in ruts and decorate them.
I call it the rabbit hole.
Decorator. That's on my business card.
Well, and even though I've been forced to work on myself more than I would have wanted to, it's always at a pain level. Rita, would you say that with relationships? Has that been your experience with learning how to change your patterns?
No, I'm not changing my pattern. I'm changing me.
Very nice. But was there a pain threshold or a level where what was your awakening to change yourself so that you could stop?
I've been working on myself since I was like 12 years old.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And so, and what I found really interesting was when I started working on this new book and a very different approach to addressing trauma and to addressing, pain and whatever else you might be carrying around, was if you read self-help books, they just reinforce that you're broken, that you're codependent, that you have these toxic tendencies and whatever. And I'm like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to take people through their pain. I want them, really the focus of the book is to look in and look up, and look, and I'm going to say it this way, but I'm not a really religious person, to look to God for salvation and to work on that connection.
Totally.
With your higher self, with the divine, whatever word you want to put there.
There's something.
The reality is that if you don't know what's going on inside first, then it is going to be hard to make that connection and make it on a consistent basis.
And that is actually the basis of 12-step programs, is that's what seems to be lacking. Like in my case, probably Gordon's, we had to get to the point where you are, I had to drink and do drugs till I bottomed out. And then I was always searching, though. I was always searching. But I really found my home in AA and Al-Anon, And it's interesting because this is why I'm going to segue into intuition and mediums.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
There you go. There you go. When Gordon and I first started, this is our 13th show, by the way. I want to say Lucky 13. Lucky 13.
And it's like Friday the 13th.
Oh.
Is it?
Really? No.
That'd be cool if it was. But anyway, so, we didn't know each other that well. We both met at an event for, I'm just going to say, medical freedom people. Where I was doing stand-up and he was there with his lovely woman who wanted us to meet because we have similar beliefs and we're both in comedy. So we got to know each other. My stories are always way longer than I plan them to be, by the way. As Gordon is starting to...
It all started back in 19...
So anyway, so we started doing the show and we're trying to get a flow and get to know each other. And I felt like I was holding back. Because I've done the show elsewhere and whatever, and Gordon didn't know, and I didn't know each other that well. And so I had an astrologer on, who was also intuitive, and she said her advice was to go crazier, be more wild, Yvonne, or whatever. And then I went on your show, and you said the same thing. That was your guidance, the same thing. And then the next show, I went wilder. I was holding back for some reason. And it was, to me, I got over the hump, and I feel like now we're on a different level, except for today because I was struggling so much with it. But it's great now. But I found that very interesting.
Well, energy is energy.
Right.
This is going to sound terrible, but I used to do this one event, and so this friend of mine, and it was like ghosty people that ran the event, and so there was just me and this other psychic guy, and the tickets were really cheap, so people would get a reading from him and then come get a reading from me, or a reading from me and go get a reading from him, and inevitably they would go, well, you just told me everything Robert just said, phrase it a different way. And I'm like, well, that's the energy that's in your space. And I know that he told them what I just said. But that's how you can tell you're dealing with a psychic that runs kind of pure energy. If you can go around the room and basically get the same message from everybody, it means that they're reading you and not just pulling stuff out their ass.
Absolutely right. And I'm like I said, I'm naturally intuitive, but everyone needs guidance every now and then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before I understood, went to how to trust myself, which is ongoing, obviously. And I love getting readings to get validated and also to see what my next steps are. Before that, here's a good story. When I was young and active in alcoholism and drug addiction, I found this place in the city called the Gypsy Tea Room. And you know about gypsies, right?
What's
It was on, yeah, New York City. It was on 56th Street and
okay. I
Lexington.
mean, I've never been there, but I'm like, wait a minute, I know that name,
Yeah.
And
Well,
yeah.
I've been there a lot. So I was in my early 20s and I was so desperate for like I was an actor and I didn't know I wanted to be famous and I wanted to make, I was just I didn't know, but I was very insecure and all this stuff. So I found this woman who happened to be uh, a a big transvestite, tall, big, heavy
Oh, cool.
woman. Yeah. Well, it turned out to not be cool. I'm just that's the
Okay.
problem. And she was more of a gypsy scammer.
Oh.
And I would go to her and she'd say the same thing. Like it was like a $5 reading at the time. So I would go like almost every day because I was very insecure. And she would say this, she'd go like, "You're gonna be a big star." Like like every day. But I was so insecure, it was so sad. And then I found out she was a gambler and she was looking, then she'd give us me and my one of my sisters like private readings for like $100 here and there until I was like, hey, wait a minute. So I tell that story because it's funny and sad. But also you have to like what is your take on like going to it like so you said going to an intuitive if you go to more than one they say the same thing that they're well, it's not sincere. What would you how would you
They're
frame
the real deal.
the real deal?
I mean, I think, I can't really speak for other people. I mean, I think, if you have multiple readings and everyone's saying the same thing, that's good. Different people have different channels. So, like, I don't talk to dead people. I don't want dead people showing up at my house.
Right.
I would
Right. Yeah.
rather interface with someone, especially in a very quick thing, like when I do the live stream, that they have a real question, not tell me something, but like a real question. Or else
Yeah.
I have to go into like more of a canned reading thing, and they just take time to do. How's that?
So why like let's say like
I don't really go to other psychics because I don't trust most of them. There's a handful that I trust, and then a lot
yeah.
of them not so
My
much.
sister's a intuitive medium. She's amazing. She's amazing. But like let's say like in Gordon's case. Like Gordon, have you ever gotten any readings or spoke to anyone to get like intuitive guidance?
I must have at some point, but I mean, I went to like I'm always looking for help. I'm always
Yeah.
I just am in this constant state of feeling like I need help. I need someone to teach me how to live. I can't. And so I'll try anything once. I went to Peru to go sit with a shaman and drink ayahuasca a bunch of times, and
You
I
did.
thought naively, well, the shaman will fix me, And I learned that, every time I do this kind of thing, I learned that I'm responsible for fixing myself,
Yeah.
um, which is not to say that I couldn't benefit from help. It's just that I have to take the reins at that point. But I guess it's kind of like the way I used to fix my whole life by drinking and taking drugs. It was so simple. You just put it in, pour it, the
Totally.
ingredients, and then the side effects became more than any
Well,
benefit.
yeah.
But I'm trying to shake that habit. It's like I think of any kind of work at all, working on myself. Anything is just more homework. Like I'm in 7th grade still, and I don't want to do homework. And
But that's the only way to get through it.
I know, and it's getting to the point where, what is it going to take? Because the
Well,
demon in the speedboats, that he's always going to be like just sitting there idling the engine. And there's guys, just because I haven't been drunk in 26 years, or it doesn't mean that the pain will get so bad that I'll just get a big case of the fuckets and say, well, at least I'll have a couple of hours of this illusion of this control, and I'll get on that
yeah.
around again. I don't think that, I've come up to that, crossroads, and I always take a look at the spreadsheet. Okay, this does that, then you do this, then that happens. Okay, forget it. But I'm back to ground zero again. I'm back to I feel like I have fucking mentally ill or something. Like, what is my deal? And I've gone to different kinds of people. They'll say, oh, you have ADD, or you have spiritual attachments on you. That there's any number of things that are going on.
You want my
Rita, can I ask you? Is it possible to give some guidance to
Sure.
Gordon?
So, all right, hang on one second. So when you drink, you do have an entity that likes to attach into the side of your neck, but when you're sober, not really. Okay, so I'm from New York. I can be really blunt, so Gordon, just bear with me. But I guess
We're all New Yorkers. It's fine.
I'm from New York too, baby.
We're all from New York. You're not going to scare us.
Okay, great. I just get the impression that you like, and excuse the way I'm going to say this, but you like sitting in your shit and you like ruminating about your stuff. And that keeps you just trapped in that rabbit hole versus stopping it and thinking about something else, stopping it by meditating, by tapping, by breathing, but it's the awareness of like, oh, I'm thinking about that again, that you can go, oh, I'm thinking about that again, and bring some new thought in. Also, it would really benefit you to embrace a practice, of having an attitude of gratitude, because I feel like you don't really see the good things.
I do see the good things, and I am grateful that I'm not waking up on the sidewalk, for over 20 years, and I have a lot of things to be grateful for.
But it's
what
not an
happens is,
active thing happening. So.
well,
So Yvonne reached out to me and said, hey, you want to come on the show? And it was like, that was pretty random, but okay, thank you. And then she came on the live stream. It was like, okay, thank you. And it's just really having that be part of who you are and part of your life. It's not about, oh, I pull these tools out when I feel like crap. It's about having them be in your life every day, and that is your life. It's kind of dieting.
Right.
People go on a diet and they'll lose 100 pounds, and then they go back to their original eating habits and they put it all back on, versus the person that makes the life choice of paying attention to what they eat and just eating moderately and making sure they get exercise. That becomes part of their life, and those are the people that don't put the weight back on.
Well, I want to interject for a second, because I identify with some of this. I was talking to an AA friend the other day, and because I go under the delusion, I have a different way of screwing things up than you do, Gordon. I come off as the happy, I got it together, but what I do is I'll oh my God, I'll start doing something I really like, and then my brain will tell me all the reasons why it won't work out.
Mhm.
Right. So what I so what my friend said is, as alcoholics, we only have a daily reprieve. So that's why after all these years I still go to meetings, because if I don't, the negativity wins out. So whatever, Gordon, I know Gordon, trying to do really is just trying to figure out how to fucking, the voices, because you like I during the week leading up to the show, I'll have moments like, oh, I'm excited, it's great, or this could lead to some whatever, and then I'll have other like, why am I bothering? I'm starting over. I had this other show, it didn't go, and you know what I mean. It's like it's always, and then what I do to stop it is I just do the next right thing, or I'll share about it. Sometimes you have to get it out, right, Gordon? That's why we go to meetings and share, the
Well, yeah, it's
crap
the cycle. Like next week, I'll
cycle.
be on the other side of it. But
Right, right,
and there are circumstantial things. Like things are like there are specific things that are
sure,
going wrong right now. Not
yeah,
making a lot of money.
right.
Uncertain future. There are health issues. You know, and also, but there's this overarching story which I've been trying to shake for my whole life,
Mm.
which started in sixth grade when I started fucking up in school. I couldn't do my math homework, and it's the same feeling of I have failed to create a life. I have failed to build a life, career, and then that handy comparison device comes in, and my cousin is going to the mysterious Asian country of Bhutan to do some hiking. Why? Because he became an accountant or whatever. He became something. And a friend of mine is in Paris. Why? Because he is a painter. He decided to spend his life working and improving it. And
So you do a
I'm
lot of
trying not to
comparing.
do this with a lot of self-brutality, because when that gets into it,
Right,
I got to get out of that as fast as possible. But it always
right,
comes down to, and it's also a very kind of an ego maniacal thing. Like, you're such
yeah,
a colossal fuck up. Like, not really. I mean, I just could have
right.
done
Not
things
really.
better. Yeah, whatever. I'm just an ordinary run of the mill fuck up who's marginally. I have my talents. I have my abilities. I've done certain things, but I'm just trying to. The consistency is what you said. That's my problem. Is I've never been able to be consistent with things. I'll abandon them in mid flow, or I've taken 8 different martial arts one time.
Right.
And what is that?
Well, that don't you have to? I find I have to trick myself. I have to find ways to trick myself from sabotaging myself, and also reframing things. I'm trying to do that more, right? So first of all, I'm saying this for me, not just you. We're miracles because we're sober. Not everyone gets sober. That's number one,
Right.
right? Right. You have a wonderful child or
Oh yeah.
children, right? Um, and you are in a relationship. I'm still working on that. So if I could compare myself to your life, right? So what they teach us in yoga is you compare yourself to yourself, not to other people, because compare and despair, baby. I've done that so many, because I have a lot of people that are friends that are really successful in show business, and I was supposed to be one of those people, but I have a different path. So am I a loser? No, I had a different path. So you're that brain does, and this is what I'm trying to get out of too. That's the old paradigm. Whereas we are actually warriors, because we're talking about stuff comedically, because we're not doctors or scientists, just for the record. But we're more daring than other people, because we didn't take the easier, softer way. So that's a thing you could do, is start reframing that old story, which isn't true. It's not true. I just want to add by saying a friend of mine, an AA friend who watches the show, gave you a big compliment the other day, and she said, "I love the way Gordon is on the show. He's very easy and just himself. He's not trying to be anything. He's just himself, and it's very watchable and
Oh,
enjoyable."
oh well, thanks to whoever that was.
Yeah, Jean Marie. So I say this to you because this is what I'm working on as well. You really, in order to get to the next, to do the things you want to do, right? You have to reframe stuff, and it's a muscle.
Right. Well, I mean, that's kind of like a precursor to like, I've been saying for years, all I want to do is be working and steadily improving at my skills. That's all I
Uh-huh.
want. And
Yeah,
maybe I'm actually doing that without,
yeah, yeah.
because I want to go a million miles an hour. And I don't, I let go of the whole, like the fame thing is, I
Bullshit.
yeah, I mean, when you look at the nightmare that famous people
Well,
live,
Hollywood's falling apart.
I'll take
It's
some, I could use some money, I could travel, I'd like to perform.
But maybe there's
Doesn't
money
have to
elsewhere
be
to make that
recognizable.
through
Huh?
the new paradigm. Maybe there's money where we don't have to sell our souls.
Or
That's
maybe just accept where you are, and you will shift on the inside so that the law of attraction will actually work for you.
Right. Yeah,
Mm.
that would be that's a goal of mine. To be on
that's
So one of
to
the
be on
things that
my
I've
side.
discovered, that the law of attraction, they say, think about it and make a vision board and do these things, which don't work because we sabotage. But
right,
if your focus is on being in alignment, having your vibration be high, accepting who you are in your situation, being grateful, it's not about the things. It's all about me, damn it.
right, right,
And then I'm in
yeah,
alignment, then good things happen.
right, exactly. And when I was doing my other show, I would do it. I wouldn't do it regularly, so I kind of sabotaged myself. Because now I'm telling you, my present goal is to do the show once a week, to the best of our ability, for a year and see what happens, and then reevaluate. Where before I did it once a month, once every 3 months, sometimes two in a row. You know what I mean? It wasn't consistent, and that makes a big difference. People that are, I'll use the word term loosely, successful are consistent, right?
Okay, but I'm
So
going to
how do you
throw
make
this
your
out there. It's like, people read my bio and they're like, oh my God, she's really smart and she's really successful and blah, 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 blah. But from the inside looking out, just saying,
yeah, and it's all perception. It's all
it's
perception.
all perception.
Yeah. Because honestly, like I'll go someplace, no one gives a shit whether I'm famous or not. No one gives a fuck. No one cares. And you know what I could be jealous of? I could be jealous of my friend from college who wrote a musical on corn on Broadway. That's not what I want to do.
But being jealous just lowers your energy.
Exactly. I'm saying I could be. I'm not. Exactly.
Wait, you're jealous of who?
I'm not going to mention names, but I just, you know what? It is a comedy show. I love what we're talking about, but I just want everyone to know this.
It's okay to read backwards.
It's okay to
Yeah,
fart.
it
I'll read
is
it for you. I'll read it for all. Would this be the right way for dyslexic people?
No, you have to mix
Okay.
the letters up.
Oh, is that how it works? I don't even know.
Here, hold it up
So,
to him.
so are you going to work on that this week, Gordon?
I'm going to work on being kindly to myself, and I'm going to play myself a little song. Uh-oh.
Are we
All
rocking?
right.
We took a turn.
Rock and roll. So I just want to say, I'm just going to promote you a little bit. Dr.
No.
Rita Louise has a website called soulhealer.com. Your podcast is Just Energy Radio, and you're live every Thursday on YouTube. You could ask questions. You're pretty amazing. I really, I appreciate you. And I've known about you for a long time, and I'm glad that I finally tuned into your
Connected, yeah.
connecting. Yeah. You're very cool. My sister's interested in having a reading with you as well. And that could be really interesting because she's also a reader.
Well, that'll be
Oh,
interesting. I used to run a psychic fair years ago, and I don't read tarot cards. I was trained at the Berkeley Psychic Institute, and they teach you how to read auras. And so that's what I would do, is I would do a card aura reading.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't use tarot cards. I just had this other deck. And but then I would do tarot readings for my tarot readers who are at the fair, but they have to get passed by me to read at my show. And I would be like, blah, blah, blah. So, here's the card, and it's like, whatever card. I don't know what this freaking card means. I just would be like, ooh, look at it and go, this is what it means for you. And I would just go off, and they never said a word.
Really? That's well, you know, a lot of times people, the card readers, the good ones, they actually use the cards just to channel, right? That's what my sister does because she's not
Right.
really into
So
tarot. She
that's
has her own.
good.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like just a tool to just like. You ever see the
Have
Hollywood
something to say.
medium? The Hollywood medium, he just scribbles on his paper, on his pad. He doesn't even write anything. Yeah, yeah. I just want to say, I just want to show my T-shirt today. It says "Free Speech Matters."
Oh, did you watch
And-
any of that testimony yesterday?
yes, that's why I said that. What do you think?
That
Did
was
you,
oh my
Robert
God.
Kennedy Jr. I'm sorry, I just want to say Robert Kennedy
Yeah,
Jr.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Please do.
Oh, I was just going to say Robert Kennedy Jr. was testifying. Why was he testifying exactly?
He was called to
Because it
testify
had
at
to
the
do
hearing
with
about
the vaccine
weaponization
and
of the
censorship
government.
around the vaccine.
Was that why he was in?
Well,
That was
I mean,
one of-
it's a congressional committee about the weaponization of the government.
That's what I thought. Yeah, yeah. Well,
censorship
he
is
does.
one of the
And
And then
there
they
was
censored him there.
they tried it was unbelievable. And what happened, I forget which newscast, but there was a journalist outside who asked the I forget which congressman or women, why were you trying to censor Robert Kennedy Jr. about censorship, and one of them said, I didn't want to hear what he had to say.
Well, of course. Why didn't you say so? Yeah, that was Wasserman Schultz, right? He was going to
Yeah.
defame people. So we can't let that happen. It says right here, Rule 11, can't hurt anybody's feelings at all. Free speech is not about that.
Oh my God. Oh
It's
my
so
God.
crazy. Everything is upside down. And all those people with that snakes crawling all over them, especially Wasserman Schultz is just this troll. She's like this. I mean, she's a party operative.
Yeah.
No and zero integrity. Just
And who's Adam? What's his name? I always
Well,
forget his.
Bug
Adam.
Eyes. Oh no, Adam Goldman.
No, the other one.
Oh, I mean Schiff.
Yes.
Schiff is a psycho. He is
Psycho.
just. And I know
It was-
people who think, oh, he should run for president, Adam Schiff. And
I know it's,
Like-
but I think that now
I'd say,
what
yeah,
I
if he gets a Cocker Spaniel to be attorney general.
yeah. Well, I can't
So
look
can
at
Nancy
his lips.
Pelosi be his vice president pick?
Yeah, crime
Sure.
family. I've heard things. I can't look at his lips. They're so like they're the inner one, the ones that go in. I can't even take it. It just made because I'm superficial. So let me ask you, because the Great Awakening, right? Are we aware astrologically we're in the Great Awakening, and I heard numerologically we're also in the Truth Century, which is why all the stuff is.
Numerologically,
We're in the Truth Century. 21st century is the Truth Century. So, and that started in 2000, and more stuff keeps coming out, right? So I wonder, I don't know if you intuit any of this stuff, but I wonder with Robert Kennedy Jr., because a lot of people are saying that in his chart that he's supposed, not that he's going to win, but he's supposed to get all this stuff out. And that's why he's doing
I
what he's
really
doing.
like him a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and if it became a race between him or Trump, I wouldn't care who won.
I feel that way. I feel that way.
You know, because I
mean-
feel like they're both going to put the truth out there, and they're both fighters, and they're not going to take people's crap. I mean, the Kennedy family has put up with so
Oh yeah,
much
hard. There's a reason that this is the time for him to say they've done all that they can do. You know, the CIA keeping the world safe from Kennedy for all this time, and he's looking him right in the face. He's like, "What do you got?" You know,
Right. You know, we know what happened to his father and his
of course.
his uncle. So, there's a saying, the most dangerous man is the one that has nothing left to lose.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I feel like the two of them are both in that place.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's why I'm like, I'm good either way. I just want someone who's going to be a truth speaker and
Exactly.
is going to hold up their integrity and be in their integrity and tell whoever, go away. We're not playing that game.
The thing I
Exactly.
like of RFK is he is less polarizing than, I mean, Trump. There's been so much propaganda and this misdirection with the media on him. He's just this darkly, negatively energized person that just triggers people. RFK,
Doesn't have
somewhat
that.
like that. Like I talk to people about him, and they hate
Yeah.
him and don't know why. They just he sucks, and
Because
you know
they were told to.
right. They were told to, but they're not. They're not committed to hating him as if he were Hitler. You know, like
Right. And and a lot of people that they're like they want to hate him and they kind of can't. They're like
they're
confused.
trying. They're like, I've been told
Trying.
to do this. I know I have to because he's anti-vax. But
And he's not anti-vax.
but when you listen to him speak, the room
Oh,
gets
yeah,
calm.
all right, he's not anti-vax, but he's anti how they're dishing vaxes.
Yeah,
out.
exactly right.
Yes,
They
which
think
I
he's
love.
anti-vax.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
the
explained
problem
to a
with
guy,
Trump,
he's not.
yeah.
He wants testing. What do you have against that? You know.
But he also has this like deep integrity, deep kind of spiritual, self-aware energy
He's
that,
sober. He's sober.
and that I really appreciate it. And you're right, he doesn't come with the baggage. But again, if they put up Gavin Newsom for the Democratic Party, I don't know.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. I have I always get nervous telling things I've heard because I get, but I heard that there hasn't been an honest election since Washington from sources. And I also heard that the reason Trump got elected was because it was the first election that they didn't rig, because they didn't think he was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then they tried to scramble in there at the last minute and throw some switches, but it was too late. Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there was no election fraud. What do you mean?
That's patently
election fraud.
Right, none.
Yeah.
Like, what do you next? You're going to suggest that
taking
somebody
Trump
robbed
to
a bank
court for doing the thing on January 6th because there was no election fraud, and he's just promoting conspiracy theories. I'm like, whatever.
Well, it's been
safest
for
election ever.
Sorry.
It was easily the safest and least corrupt election ever. It was absolutely perfect.
Absolutely, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah. Anybody who says otherwise is
Right.
a conspiracy theorist.
Right. It's all about distraction and divide and conquer. And the more people that know that, the more we can change the world. Mm-hmm. And I've heard, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, because I am a half cup kind of gal, even though I have my dark moments. It only takes
New York.
You got what? There's no separating.
Because you're from New York.
If you ever read my, go ahead.
If you come off too positive in New York, people think you're having
because I have a happy face. But if you ever read any of my plays, it's all very dark comedy. It's not happy. I'm not happy. I like to have fun, but I had to dig deep. It only takes 3% of the population to change the world.
That's gone up. It's up to 30 now. I'm sorry, they raised it.
Oh well. Okay.
But the buzzwords that keep coming up, I mean, not just for me personally, is increased awareness, getting to know what I want versus being pushed by you to do your bidding, and boundaries. Yeah. I mean, last week on the live stream, that was the topic, because it was like 5 conversations in 1 week with different people, all talking boundaries. And so even with all the crazy going on and the physical discomfort that it's creating, it's really causing people to look inside and pick their poison and make a decision of what they want to do and what's right for them.
Literally. It's true. It's true. And listen, my stance since 2020 and before has been, don't tell me what I put in my medical freedom. You can do whatever you want, but don't you dare tell me what to do. we're not in Nazi Germany, and I'm not doing it.
Isn't it scary how so many people swallowed the your freedom ends at where you're killing me. Like my decision to not do that, they really thought that they believed
Yeah,
that by not letting myself be forced to put something in my bloodstream, that was a threat to them, which is just a view. I was reading
which
Naomi
means it
Wolf's
didn't
book.
work.
But if it
Didn't work.
worked, it would have been a non-issue.
Right. It didn't work. It doesn't work.
I mean, that whole thing was just like a brain cluster. You know, when you
Yeah.
sit there and listen to the rhetoric around it, it's like,
Oh yeah,
I have
yeah.
to like break this down into segments because A does not equal D.
Exactly.
Well, that's
I don't
where
know
you
how you got
add a
there.
little F, add some fear, and anything
Add
makes
some F.
sense.
We have a few minutes. I don't know if we get cut off here, like we do on Instagram, but I want to. Speaking of medical stuff, I have a sort of a friend in AA who he's up in years, and he had prostate cancer, and I found this has to do with logic. They decided he needed 44 radiation treatments. And
44,
44, and in the middle of it, um,
he died.
towards the end, I was waiting for him to die. Honestly, he's 81. I was waiting for that because they don't tell you to eat healthy or anything. But they kept asking him if he had any rashes because as we know, most of us know, the radiation it screws up your immune shoots. Your immune system's not great, and then it makes it 10 times worse, right?
Mhm.
It's radiation. So they kept asking him. It was almost like a negative affirmation. Did you get a rash? 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 And eventually he got shingles. So he manifested the rash they were talking about. He is still alive. He's done with the treatments.
Good.
I want to ask, this is my question. How do you think they came up with that number, 44?
That just seems like a lot.
Right? And random.
You know, all I can think, I mean, I'm not a medical doctor. All I can think
Right. Me either.
they weren't doing the chemo, and so they were just going to rely on the radiation.
See, I think you're
like 80-something years old. It's like, I'm sure, like, other than the peeing part, how much action is that going on there, and
I think there's another reason. I think that was a very kind, naive way of looking at it. I'm just going to say, because I think it had to do with dollars.
had to do with what?
Dollars.
A
How much
billable
money they
dollar.
make.
Oh, well, we could do an entire show.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Right, exactly. So you went the nice way. You went the actual, like, oh, maybe they were actually thinking about how to help him.
Okay, so I'm going to share this story. So I'm going to see if I can get it on.
I just had to tell that because
So I broke my finger.
Yeah.
Dusting.
Wow.
And, so there's this part of me that said, well, you should probably go to the emergency room and have it checked. But then I looked at it and I'm like, well, I can kind of bend it. And what are they going to do for me at the emergency room? They're going to put a splint on it.
Or they might have to amputate it and give you chemo. I'm kidding.
Well, that wasn't going to happen.
Right.
So I got a
That's a
low
joke.
stir
That's a
stick
joke.
because I didn't have any popsicle sticks. I found an unused low stir stick, paint stick,
Nice.
and cut it down and made a little splint for my finger. And then I realized I didn't have any medical tape. And so I put Scotch tape on it and then did go get medical tape. And then I got talked into going to the doctor to have it x-rayed. And I'm like, fine, I'll go. And
it was
I
broken?
said to the doctor, okay, so give me one good reason why I should get an x-ray. And he goes, well, there might be a chip in the joint, and that's why it's still swollen. And I'm like, okay, that's a good enough reason. So I go get the x-ray. And then the next thing you know, I get the call from the doctor, and they want me to go see an orthopedic surgeon about my finger. Next,
Of course.
you have this kind of break. And I'm like, okay, how do you spell that? And so I said, well, was there a chip in there? And she said, no. She goes, I don't know. I'm going to go look. And I said, okay, you go find out. I'm going to look up whatever this kind of break is, and I'll let you know if I'm going to go to the orthopedic surgeon or not. So I looked up the kind of break it is, and basically the remedy was immobilize the joint for 6 to 8 weeks, aka put a splint on it for 6 to 8 weeks. So why am I going to go to see the orthopedic surgeon who's going to want new x-rays to tell me I need to put a splint on it, which I already knew?
Because one hand washes the other.
I obviously do know.
Yeah, they always will refer each other.
Yeah. I had that. I
don't-
broke a toe and that happened.
Oh,
They tried to get me to go to and I was like, no.
I cut the tendon on my finger. See that?
Yeah.
Well, that's cute.
Yeah. So it's a permanent T finger.
Nice. Yeah.
I was on workers' comp for 4 months. I had microsurgery to reattach the tendon. Happiest time of my life. I was sipping borscht. I was reading comic books in a
Lovely.
cafe,
That's nice.
roaming around.
See, that's where
sick.
Western medicine is good.
Yeah.
Unless you work for yourself, then you still are working. So it don't matter.
Right. So we did a full hour. I think we're going to wrap it up. But Rita, Rita's going on a date tonight. Where are you going?
With Bon Jovi. So
You going to see Bon Jovi? Or
no,
with Bon
he
Jovi?
looks like Bon Jovi.
He does, really?
He does.
That's exciting. Oh,
That-
good for you.
But in this field of bushy-haired people, there's freaking Bon Jovi, and he's very spiritual.
Aw.
Do you know it? What's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Oh, Leo, the hair.
Leo with an Aries moon and a Libra rising.
Wow.
I'm 6 Aquarians.
He has like 1 million planets in Aquarius.
Really? I'm married to Aquariuses.
Wow. I'm a Pisces moon rising Leo.
Oh, cool.
That's why I'm funny. 2 Aquariuses. That's interesting.
2 Aquariuses and 2 Geminis.
Wait, 4 marriages? God bless you.
What is John
Plus the
Bon
blood.
Jovi?
Yeah. What's John Bon Jovi's sign
He's a
tonight?
Capricorn. So we'll see.
Happy, like my kid.
Capricorn man.
She's
That's
like the most
interesting.
grounded person I know. She's grounded, organized,
Yeah.
focused. I'm like,
That could be good.
thank God you dodged this situation.
Yeah. God bless her.
My sister's like, you're not on Earth. You might want to come to Earth. You can get some
Yeah.
things done.
It's hard. It's hard. I'm a Pisces. I'm a dreamer, so I'm not into reality that much.
Me
myself.
neither. That's why you and I are chums.
That's right. That's why we have a comedy show together. Any last words, people? Any last words?
Good. I had a really good time, and I'm hoping down the road or when this book comes out that you'll have me back and we can get into detail.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Plus, I want to hear about the date. I want to hear about the date.
I want to get some free intuitive healing also.
That would be nice.
Right.
I'm very grateful for the show. I thank you for bearing with me while I learn tech stuff that I never wanted to learn.
StreamYard.
I'm going to go to StreamYard next week. But we're
Oh,
getting
yeah.
there, Gordon.
You are. We got it. We made it happen. You
We
did
made
it.
happen. Thank you. As a moon in Leo, I need that. I need credit, or else I get angry. So I appreciate that.
Thanks for
Rita, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Gordon, for figuring it out. And I'm glad it was the 3 of us on the screen. And thanks everyone for watching. If anyone watched, no one has posted anything, but I'm sure they were so intent on hearing what we had to say.
I'm sure.
Have a great day.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's play
Please
us out.
play us out and have a great date.